Good morning, everybody. I'd like to introduce to you Solana Lewis. You can just call her Solana. That's what she prefers. Solana is a young entrepreneur who has had many successes with her business, and in a minute I'm going to ask her just to share a little bit about herself and about her business. If you have your Chromebooks, please take them out. You should have your Chromebooks with you. And the first thing I would like you to do is to go to Solana's website, which is?
It's SolanaLewisTraining.com. So SOLANA, Lewis, LEWIS, training.com.
Got it. Okay, and the second thing I would like you to do, class, is to take out your questions if you have them written out, or just be ready to ask your 2 questions. All right, Solana, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do?
Yeah, okay guys, so you probably know my mom, Mrs. Lewis. I'm her daughter. So hi, I'm Solana. I am a personal trainer, but specifically a powerlifting coach. And I also am a nutrition coach. My entire business is online, so all of my training, all of my coaching is done online. The only thing I do in person is take the lifters who have been training online to the actual competition to train them at the actual competition. Besides that, everything I do is online.
Okay. Awesome. All right, so thank you so much, Solana, for that. I know you've thought long and hard about the questions, your questions. Go ahead.
Well, let me tell you like how I got here.
Okay. Okay. Go ahead.
So basically, I started out as a personal trainer in person. Have you guys heard of Equinox? Yes. No. Yes. Okay, some of you. So it's a gym. It's like one of the fancier gyms. Like you walk in, you can lift this towel, just like someone saying hello. Like it's a little fancy.
Okay.
So I started out there right out of college, and I realized I love training, but this is not for me. Like in-person personal training, it was not my thing. Being in a big corporate place, like they take a big chunk of the money, right? Mm-hmm. So you're the one doing all the work, and they take the money, and you're like a peasant, like thank you for the aftermath of whatever I can get. And after a while being like 3 years, yeah, after 3 years, I was like, okay, I need to move on. So I left from Equinox and went to doing still personal training, but on my own as an independent contractor. Who knows what an independent contractor is? You do. What is it?
Like work for yourself.
Basically, that's all it is. You work for yourself. You get your own insurance. Hopefully, he's told you a little bit about getting your own insurance.
We're not quite there. It's class 4. We're going to get there, which is going to be one of my questions for you. So
awesome.
Yes. So is it okay if we have them? If we can open up the floor for them? And you'll be able to speak a lot about your business, and I cannot wait to hear more about it.
Yes.
But I'd love to get our students involved.
Yes, let's do it.
Okay, so let's start with one question from Ben.
About like anything?
Anything.
Like I don't. How does like personal training online work? Like is it like videos or is it just like texting back and forth?
There's a lot of ways you can go about it. So I'll tell you how I do it. So because I specialize with powerlifters specifically, they tend to be in a group of people who are already very consistent in the gym. Like they don't come to me like, hey, I want to start working out. They're like, I already work out and I want you to get me to compete, right? So I write them programs, right? And then I communicate with them via Zoom, like once every month, sometimes every other month, just to check in with them face to face. But I do weekly check-ins that are all via email. So my whole business is via email. Their program is on Excel, and then there's communication via email and some Zooms. But there was a point where I was doing just Zoom training, like one-on-one personal Zoom training.
What one-on-one?
Mm-hmm. One-on-one, like full hour long session on Zoom. So that can be done too.
Okay, I do have a question, but maybe they're going to ask that question. I want to save that. Nick, question?
How has this pandemic affected your business? Was it a major negative or did it not really affect it at all?
Great question.
This is a great question. It's a big positive, actually, because I was like half and half in person and online until March 2020, and then everything went online. I never went back in person, and that's when I fully went like just online coaching. And I think this pandemic helped people realize that they really need to take care of their health even more. So, I also mentioned I'm powerlifting and nutrition. So I got a lot more nutrition clients. There are a point where they're just like, hey, clearly I need to take care of myself. So it did help me positively, not in March, but like a few months after.
Yeah.
But yeah.
When people were just getting acclimated to what was happening, right?
Mm-hmm.
Nick, that was a great question. Thank you. Okay, Olivia, question.
I'm gonna ask his question.
What's that?
I'm gonna ask his.
Okay.
So, if like you watch, like, would you ever consider going in person? Say like you had all like the materials and everything. Would you be willing to switch like to go in person or like back to hybrid like you were doing before?
For me personally, no. I find a lot of freedom being able to work from my bedroom. Literally, like my entire day, just out on my laptop. I get to choose when I work, and then if I want to like have time off, or like even if an emergency comes up, like I can be in charge of like, okay, I need this time, and I don't have to ask anyone or like move my sessions around for in person because I'm in control of everything I do. So personally, no, I don't see myself going back in person.
Good question, Olivia. Thank you for that. All right, let's go with Ethan. Ethan, you got a question for Solana?
When did you first start getting into weight training? Was that right after college, or that's when you started trying to like be a personal trainer?
Weight training for myself?
Yeah.
Oh, I got into it as a sophomore in college when I was 18. So that was 7 years ago.
So you really only like trained for like 3 years before you started to pursue like personal training?
Yes, pretty much. Like, I basically started personal training right after college. So 3 years of working out myself, and I actually got my bachelor's in exercise science as well. And then I went out of that and went straight. Like, I think I got my Equinox. I got that job like a week after I graduated. Like, I went right into it.
So I have a question, but I'm gonna save it because maybe you would want to ask that question. I still want to keep the floor open for questions. Rhiannon, do you have a question?
Yeah. So how exactly does a powerlifting competition work?
Yeah, okay. So, do you guys know what a barbell back squat is? Most of you do? Okay, some of you do, right? So, you know what a regular squat is? Okay, so you do a heavy squat with weight on your back. You do a barbell bench press. You guys know what that is? Laying down, pushing the weight up. And then you do a deadlift where you pick the weight up from the floor. Okay, you do those 3 movements. You get 3 attempts for each one. The goal is that each attempt gets heavier and heavier. They count the heaviest lift towards your total. So your total is just the heaviest one from each squat, each bench, each deadlift. They add all up, and whoever has the highest total in that weight class wins.
Hang on, I have another question for you, but I'm gonna see maybe they want to ask the question. Landon, go ahead. Question, Landon.
What would you say to someone that is first starting a business?
Question, Landon.
I'm going to assume they're starting an online business because that's what I know best. So I would tell this person that, and they may have heard it before, but using social media to your advantage and simply posting every single day is going to be huge. And it's something that a lot of people say, yeah, it's important, but like they don't do it, or they're like, yeah, they get consistent and then fall off. It took a while of me posting every day to start getting people to come to me, but it was all worth it because a lot of people who were not liking my posts, who were not commenting, said, I've been watching you for a long time, I want to work with you. And I was going based off of, oh, no one's liking my stuff, no one's commenting on my stuff, this is failing. People are watching and they may just not double tap, but they're watching you.
Yep. Awesome, that's a great question. Chris?
I need to think for a sec. Can you come back to me? And
Sure, buddy. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Chelsea?
Like most of the people already asked the questions that I was gonna ask.
Oh, they did. Okay. What were you gonna ask?
Or it was already answered.
Okay. Gotcha. Ethan, you have another one?
So out of the 3, if you go too heavy and you can't get it up, is that you're just disqualified from that portion?
Oh no, so the lift won't count. It only counts when you get it back up and re-rack the weight.
Yeah.
But all that happens is there's spotters to help you. They're gonna make sure you don't die.
So if you fail on your second attempt, you still get your 3rd.
Yeah, you still get your 30. Mm-hmm.
Chris, we have something?
I have no idea. I don't know what to ask.
You could ask anything.
Like,
I'm gonna come back to you.
Okay.
Okay. Ben, do you have another question? Second question?
I mean, like, would you, like, I know you did the online training, would you ever, like, get into, like, opening your own, like, kind of gym or something like that, or is that, like, off the table?
That is something I don't think I ever want to do. They're the, like, for me, owning a building and then taking care of everyone in that building, typically the person stops personal training because they're too busy being in charge of the building itself. It's really hard to, like, be the full-time trainer who's in charge of the building and everything's happening in it. So for me, no, it's too much.
Yeah, I was actually just talking to Mrs. Painter yesterday. Mrs. Painter ran a very large music business in Stroudsburg, Pennsylvania. She had 500 students. They had 500 students, so she had managers working for her, and they had a large music store, and it was going really well. And I said, well, why did you leave? She said, because I wasn't singing. I wasn't teaching. And her passion, God gifted her in teaching. And she said, we were not using our gifts. So they left that because she didn't want to have to manage such a large business. And I didn't realize that. I knew she had a music store. I didn't realize how large her music store was and her music and the teaching business. So that's very true. It's a good question, Ben. Thank you. Nick, number 2?
What would you say was your biggest hurdle when starting your business? Like, what did you?
Biggest hurdle for me. I think for me, I started out very disorganized for my online business, and getting my business coach helped with that. But I was just very disorganized. Like, I didn't have a very set way of like onboarding a new clients, and that's just very important. You can't just be like, okay, we're gonna get started, and you're like, oh man, I have to write the program, and I don't know. Oh, did I ask this question? And so now it's like, okay, I have a questionnaire. We do a Zoom call. We then do the assessment. You give me 5 business days. I give you the program. I give you a video explaining how everything works. And now it's just like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which makes life way easier so you're not stressed out.
So you had it all outlined, what you needed to do, exactly what you needed to do for your business.
Yes, now I have a full outline, just how to like onboard a client and get them started. And they're very clear about what's going to happen. And I'm clear. So it's way easier to get them to say yes to you. Honestly.
Nice. Okay, Landon, do you have a second question?
What is the most you have deadlifted?
The most I deadlifted?
Yeah.
That was my question.
So
very good.
In competition, I hit a world record as a junior with 424 pounds, but the best I've done is 450.
450?
Yes.
I can do maybe 125.
Oh,
I don't know. You know what? To be honest, I've never tried that before, but. Okay. Oh yeah.
So I'm just looking at your website. I see that you have a podcast. Is that fun? Like to do? Like do you do that like often? And like when you do, like do you have like guest speakers on it? I guess.
Yes. So yes, I have a lot of guest speakers. It's probably 50% guest speakers and 50% me teaching new powerlifters what powerlifting is. It's really fun and it's surprising to me. Surprisingly, because I started in June this year, so it's not been too long. And I've had probably 7 clients in the past 2 months come to me, like new clients saying, I found you through your podcast. I Googled powerlifting podcast, you popped up, I listened to it, I liked it, and I signed up with you. I was like, I did not see that coming. Like, I really didn't.
Yeah, they said podcasting, because I listened to a lot of different podcasts, and a couple years ago, they said podcasting was a dead art, but it's coming back big time. So if you're a podcaster now, that could be a huge benefit for your business, right? So if it's something that you can consider doing, if you guys wanted to start a podcast and that be either your business or a part of your business, I think that would be a good piece of what you guys are doing, podcasting. Hawthorne, I started a podcast for HCA a few years back, and it was great. It was great. I interviewed teachers, students, administration. Just had a lot of fun with that, but that's something that you can do, and it just brings a different dynamic to your business. So
yeah, it is cool that it's really cheap to
good
start.
question, Olivia. Good question. Number 2.
How old were you when you like actually started the business online?
When I started taking a few online clients, honestly, probably 2 years into personal training, but it was not of my business. It was like 1 or 2 people on the side. So I was like 19, but when I went like full blown, I'm just gonna do this only, it was only about Technically, it was March of last year, so I was 20. Well, I was 23. I was 23.
23?
Yes.
So young. Amazing. Amazing. Okay. Do you have a second question?
Like, what inspired you to make a powerlifting business?
Good question.
I would say it was years of learning what a bad coach looks like. I've had multiple coaches, and not because I can't figure out what I want, but because I was not treated the way I wanted to be treated. And it taught me that, like, there's a lot of coaches that just aren't so great. So I wanted to become a great coach. A lot of people who come to me have had a coach in the past, and they tell me about their past experience, and it's similar to mine. I'm like, man, like, it's not an oversaturated field, because there's a lot of coaches, but there's not a lot of, like, great detailed, I care about you as a human being, not a number of coaches. So I wanted to change that.
That's awesome. You saw an opportunity and you jumped on it.
Mhm.
Well done, well done. Because you're right, there are a lot of not great coaches out there, and you took that as an opportunity to go build your own because you knew what it would take to be a good coach. So very nice, Solana. Number 2, Ethan. Oh, you asked too? Okay, Chris.
Okay. Like, do you set up different like workouts for different people based on like what they want to achieve and like their height and like weight and stuff like that?
Yes,
Excellent question, Chris.
Yes. Everyone needs like very customized to them program. Even it's funny, it's that height and weight. So like my sport has weight classes. And it's like someone who's in a super heavyweight class, I literally have to completely change their technique versus someone who's in the very lightweight weight class because their size is so different that it changes how they move. So I had to make it very specific to them. All my technique cues and all my coaching is very specific to what they want to get better at.
Right.
That's awesome. Really good. I got everyone? Okay, your 2 questions. All right, before I ask my questions, do you have any more questions for Solana that you'd like to ask? Anything else that you would like to know? Okay. Nothing. All right. My turn.
Yay!
Are you ready? All right, I'm gonna back up a little bit. So your personal training sessions, and I hope you don't mind me asking this question.
Okay.
How much do you charge for a 1-hour personal training session? One client.
One client, one session is $90
For an hour.
for 1 hour.
It's not bad, right? $90 an hour.
What's nice is doing it online, you get to keep all of it.
Yeah. Right? No overhead.
There's
right?
no overhead. Like, I just keep all of it.
That's a lot, right? 23? Or you're 24 now?
I'm 25 now.
You're 25.
Mhm.
Okay, 25, making $90 an hour. Not bad. All right, so how much weight have you lift? You said 450, right?
Yes.
Okay, that's a lot. All right, now my prepared questions. Let's see, how did you first get started? Which it was college, right? Why? Why did you start powerlifting?
I'm gonna try to make this a real short sentence.
Okay.
That can go on for an hour or not, but I'm gonna make it like 1 minute. Basically, I got into strength training because like I got sick of trying to run. Like I don't like running. It's what I saw all the time. So
Okay,
let me just try running.
running for fun. That's
Like
not my
running for
thing
fun.
either.
I don't like this. It's not.
Do you
fun.
guys run? Any of you run? No. Okay.
Yes. And honestly, when I was on Instagram a lot, I started seeing women like lift weights, and I like wasn't used to seeing that. But I was like, they
Okay.
look pretty good. And like they're lifting dumbbells in the gym. They're not running.
Right.
Let me just try it.
Okay.
And then I tried it, and my friend, I was at Montclair State, so my friend who's at the same gym with me saw me lifting. He was like, "You should try powerlifting." I was like, "What's that?" And I went and watched him compete just for fun, like to support him. And I saw a woman doing it, and I was like, "I'm trying it." Like I just saw women lifting very heavy, something I'd never really seen because they were lifting like heavy, and I was like, "I'm gonna try this." I decided today I'm gonna try this. Within 2 weeks, I got a coach, and I just tried it. I just never stopped.
And you fell in love with it?
I just
Is
fell
that-
in love with it. I did a meet, I loved it. I just literally never stopped.
Okay. So, at what point did you think you could start making money with it, or is it something that just kind of happened, just training people? Like, at what point did you say, you know what, I think I can make money with this?
Yeah, it was probably middle of 2019 for me because that's when I was doing the personal training all in person, and I had like a couple online people. I was like, I can't go fully online. I'll never make money. I was like undercharging,
Yeah.
and I had a friend who was coaching powerlifting, and like I just started asking them some questions, and they were like telling me how much they're making. And I was
Right.
like, wait a minute,
Wait.
I'm miserable.
Oh, yeah.
I'm getting to the gym at 5 a.m. I'm leaving at 10 p.m.
Wow.
I'm tired, and you're sitting at home making money. And I was like, this is possible. This is actually possible.
Yeah.
So no,
So you were at the gym at 5 in the morning.
I would get to the gym at 5 a.m. and
And
I'd
you
be
stay
leaving
all
around.
day?
I would leave and come back a lot because my clients were like random times. But yeah, like my last session would be like 8:30 p.m.
Oh my goodness.
to
How many
9:30.
days a week was it? How many days a week?
I was there 7 days a week. This gym made it very
It
clear.
was,
Like, if you're,
that was your life. It is.
Uh-huh.
It is your life.
That was
Do you
my life.
still work 7 days a week?
No,
You don't.
I work 5.5.
5.5. Tell me why. Why? do
Why?
you, yes.
First of all, I learned that taking a Sabbath day is actually what God wants us to do.
Amen.
And
Yes.
seriously, I didn't
Yep.
realize that, but I was like, wait, God wants us to rest. When I started letting myself rest, I was so much more productive working. That I was like, this is amazing, and there's a reason He wants us to do this.
That's right. And it's so we don't burn out, right?
And so we don't burn
Yes.
out.
Yeah. And we just use that day to worship Him.
hmm
So awesome. All right. Are there disadvantages to opt to running your business online? Are there any disadvantages that you could think of?
I wouldn't call it a disadvantage, really, but it's the only thing I can think of. Like, every once in a while, someone will, like, think about doing online coaching, talk to me, but end up going with someone in person because they have this idea that if someone's with me in person, I'm going to learn faster and better. However,
Which is not
that's
necessarily
not
the
true.
case. Okay.
I counteract that. I'm like, actually, with online coaching, you get way more access to me, even though it may be via email, it may have to be a text. When you do an in-person session, most of the time you do it and you leave and you don't talk to them until you come back. For
Right.
me, like, you get access to me like Monday through Friday. Like,
Right,
I will
right.
respond to you, I will help you, I will give you video cues. So that's
Right.
way more access, and it ends up changing their life when they actually do it.
Right. So there's follow up. There's if they need help with something, you're available. I think that's why you're successful at what you do. You make yourself available. You don't shut it or keep it limited to that 1 hour. It's all week.
Yes.
Awesome. Are there other ways that you generate income for your business? Are there other ways that you generate income besides just accepting payments from clients?
I do have something that it's like a do-it-yourself sort of program. It's called the Powerlifting Warm-Up Guide.
Okay.
So it's
Nice.
an ebook. What I like about that is I made it once, like put a lot of work into it, and now I'm done. And now I talk about it, I sell it by talking about it on Instagram, and like that's just income that I didn't have to actually do much besides talk about it to make.
So an ebook.
Yes.
Any questions yet? Has she said anything that sparked any ideas or thoughts? Yeah.
With the ebook, like when did that come out in comparison to like when you went fully online?
Oh, when did I make the warm-up guide? I think I finished it like December of last year, so it's not that long. And I did fully online March of last year. So
Okay. How much do you sell it for?
oh, my ebook is
Uh-huh.
$27. It's
Were you
nothing
guys
crazy.
curious about how much you sold the ebook for? Yeah, a little bit.
What's cool about it, like
$27?
yeah, so
Okay.
it's very low ticket and low cost, but that's because it's something that I don't have to put a lot of effort into now,
Mhm.
right? So that's why that's my low cost offer. But I have low cost, I have medium, and I have high ticket offers.
Okay. And where can we find your ebook? Where would we find it? Is it on Amazon? Is it just through your own
So you can
platform?
find it, yes, on my own platform. You can
On-
find it on
On your website?
my website. You can find it through my Instagram. That's really it. The end.
And how do you accept payment, or how would someone buy the ebook from you? How does that work? How do they buy an ebook? Because I know, but they don't.
Yeah, it's pretty. Like, how did I make it?
No. So you have an ebook, which
Uh-huh.
is in what type of format? I'm assuming PDF format.
Yes.
PDF.
Oh,
So you have the. Go ahead.
It's called a course, but it's really just a book. It's called a course on Kajabi, so you can click through it. Kajabi is the website maker I have.
Gotcha.
But the way you buy it, like literally, like so you can go on my Instagram. I only have one link,
Mhm.
and that link shows you everything that I essentially offer. And you just click on Powerlifting Warm-Up Guide, and it takes you straight to like a page that says this is what it is,
Okay.
so much it costs. You put in your PayPal or your credit card information, and that's it.
And that, okay, so after someone puts in their credit card information and they buy your ebook, they click on it to buy it, how does that ebook get delivered from your stuff into their inbox?
It goes straight to the email.
It goes straight to their email.
Yeah.
So is it automatically set?
Yes.
And you use Kajabi for that? Awesome. Cool. All right. Second page. And I was going to ask if you have a blog, and I think you do, or no?
It's
Did
a
you
blog that just has info about my podcast.
Okay, gotcha. Do you advertise your business on social media platforms, and which ones? And I think you told me Instagram is one of them.
Yes. So
Okay, and what else?
predominantly Instagram, right? Then I have my podcast just be getting me people. But
Okay.
Ooh, I can't.
So Instagram.
I have a TikTok. It's all about my business.
Okay.
I will say it's the one that I'm least consistent with.
TikTok is the one that you're least consistent
Yes,
with.
but I will say I have a lot of friends who are generating a lot of revenue through TikTok. I just haven't taken full advantage of TikTok, I will be honest.
Nothing? Questions?
Do you guys have a TikTok?
How do you make money on TikTok? I want to ask. How do you do that? Like, how do you make money on TikTok?
Creator fund.
So yes, right, there's a creator fund, right, where they literally will pay you to talk about stuff. But honestly, if you just make your content about what you sell, and then you put your link in the bio, people will buy it. You just have to make your content, like you make whatever, it can be a video, you don't have to be dancing, you don't have to be pointing, right? But a video that will catch people's attention, talking about what you do, and then if they like it, they will click your link. They will
Okay.
buy the stuff.
Well, okay, kind of like YouTube, where you just post your link, or is it different? Do you post? Is it?
It's more like Instagram, where you post your link in the bio.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's cool. It's like, how's the income? Like, how does that work? You get paid like a penny per view or something? How does that, or they just buy things
So
from
I'm
you?
just talking about the stuff that you personally sell. You,
Oh,
The
okay.
creator fund,
Creator fund, that's what.
yes,
Yeah.
you make a very small percentage
Okay.
based on how many views you're getting.
And
I don't
that's-
know the percentage.
Okay,
I'm
gotcha.
sorry.
Oh, that's all right. Have you used Facebook at all? Facebook for advertising, anything like
I
Facebook
don't
page?
use it for advertising, but I do have a paid-only Facebook group where women who want to powerlift can join in, and that's also
Cool.
low ticket. And then I just literally like post information in it like once a day. I spend like maybe 3 minutes a day in there,
Okay.
and it's literally only $8 a month. But once you get a lot of people in it, it's like I spend 3 minutes a day doing something, and like 100 people can give me $100 a month, and it's really
So it's
easy.
$8, right? $8 a month
$8 a
to
month.
subscribe.
Mhm.
How do you set that up on Facebook? Is that a feature on Facebook? How does that work?
Oh,
Or no?
they don't pay through the Facebook.
They don't.
No.
They pay you, and then you invite them in.
That's exactly what it is.
Oh,
Which is very
Genius.
popular now. There's a lot of
That
people
is
doing paid
genius.
Facebook groups.
see, I'm learning a lot of new things from
Mhm.
you, so thank you. You guys learning some things? Yeah? I hope? Okay, good. Okay. Do you ever use paid advertising at all? Do you use paid type
I
advertising?
barely dabbled in it, and then I stopped. All of my revenue is coming from, what's the word when it's not paid?
Organic.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Everything I
It's
do
all-
is really organic.
Yeah, good for you.
I took the time to make an ad, and honestly, I should just spend more time over there. But you can truly build a whole business with organic.
Yeah, it's just organic. Yeah, so it's paid and organic. Organic takes a lot more work. I mean, a lot of these big businesses, they'll just spend $100,000 a month on Facebook advertising, and their hope is to generate more than they're putting in, right?
Mhm.
That's their hope. But if you're like Solana and you build a business organically, people will just find you. They'll do searches in Google, they'll do searches on Instagram, on TikTok, and then they'll find her content. But it sounds like it's taken you a few years to get to that point where people are finding you organically. So
Yes.
it's not, you weren't making money right away. You were making some money via your training sessions, personal training, but for people to notice you online and then start paying you, that took some time.
It did.
And what's awesome about what you do is you can have clients all over the world,
Yes.
which is phenomenal. So your Facebook group, right? $8.
Mhm.
if you have 1,000 people subscribed to your Facebook group, how much is that a month? $8,000 a month just from a Facebook group that people subscribe to you. It's genius. I'm so happy that you're here. This is exactly what we're doing. You know, and my hope is for them to create some type of online business in this class using their gifts and their talents. And our focus is these first couple classes, just focusing on what their gifts and what their talents are, and then finding a niche, and then niching that niche. Right? Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. And that was literally what, if you weren't here today, that was what we were going to be doing, is talking about niching a niche.
Yes.
You know, and doing and Google and all that other stuff. So
So do you guys know what niche means? Cause y'all. Okay, I have a feeling.
Yeah.
So like, for example, right? I could say I'm a personal trainer, and that's very broad. There's trainers for old people, there's trainers for young people, there's trainers for people who are like whatever, who are sick, right? But I specifically work with powerlifters, and all I advertise for and talk about is powerlifters.
Mm-hmm.
So that when someone comes to me for coaching, they're like, I expect you to make me a better powerlifter. That's why I'm going to come to you. So I don't get like the 95-year-old grandma coming to me. That's not my ideal client.
Well, yeah, I mean, it'd
Right?
be funny if
That's
it
not
was,
my-
but
it could be, right, for
It could
someone,
be.
but that's not my
Right.
ideal client. They're
Yeah,
not going
so
to come to me
powerlifting.
because I don't talk about that. I talk about just powerlifting. So that's my niche. Powerlifting.
So that's your right, which is niche or niche, right? How do you say?
niche.
You say niche, niche, potato, whatever. So again, figuring out what you guys are really good at, figuring out what your niche or what your niche is going to be, and really focusing in on that. Solana, thank you so much for coming today. It's such a pleasure having you. And can you offer them just some last final piece of advice on, you know, if they're going to start a business, what is the first thing that they should do? What's the first thing that they should do to start their business?
To start an online business, honestly, I would really take advantage of, again, social media. I think the most simple thing for me, I would say to use, is Instagram. That's where a lot of people generate their revenue through, and just start posting about what you want to do. Whatever it is. If it's training, start posting. You can even post videos of you working out, and then you helping someone else work out. So people start to get the idea of what you're about. And do it a lot. Post every day.
And there it is. Be consistent.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Solana.
You're welcome.